and then I put my arms into it, and then I let my body turn. All of a sudden, you've got very efficient, a lot of speed with not a lot of effort. You're in sync. You're dancing with this club. When it comes to maximizing your distance with the driver or any club, it's about a certain sequence of skills. If you do these skills, you're going to be like Rory, like Ernie Els, like Oberg. All these guys do certain things and they're really good at them. If you have them do them, they can all do these. So we're going to show you these skills. Then you need to put them together in a sequence and you're going to maximize and see a lot more distance and consistency in your game. Skill number one is about building a relationship with this and being able to allow the club and your wrist to create a maximum amount of speed. It's this lever system. So what are these skills? You watch these guys and they're always standing. This looks really easy to do, but you see how loose my wrists are, okay? So this little drill right here, or this skill to be able to do this and let the weight of the club, see the weight of the club is making my hands react. So you're doing this right here. I can even kind of let the club just float through the air. I'm barely holding it, but you see what my wrists are doing. Now that plays in also to the look cool drill, which we're just letting the club drop. And if you watch the handle here, the handle is slowing down and it's pivoting. Okay, and it's the weight of the club that's doing this for me. I'm not forcing it to do it. I'm just directing the momentum and letting the club just go. Now, whether I do my right hand or I do my left hand, that's a really important skill to have the tension level such that the momentum and the weight of the club can make your wrist hinge, unhinge, and rehinge. See, I'm not doing anything here. I'm letting the momentum of the club do it. So it's building that skill first so you know the tension level you need, which is minimal to create maximum speed with that lever system. So let me give you an example of where speed comes from and why those drills or those skills are so important. I've got this little stick here. You can buy these at Home Depot. They're driveway markers for snow. You can get them any place. You can even take an old club and with no club head on it. But I want you to listen how much speed's in that. Now, how much is this moving? Not much. In fact, it's not moving at all. But you see this lever system? See how much speed it creates. Now, most of you don't hit like that. You hit like this because you're so tight. So no matter how fast I move my body, that's a whole different issue right there. Now, the other thing I'm not doing is I'm not twisting my arm and I'm not twisting my shoulder. See, this is a lever system in my wrist. It's here, and it's a lever system in my wrist there. What I'm not doing is twist and twist. You don't have to do that. We've talked about that in the M system and why your grip is so important to be able to accomplish this. Because at the end of the day, what you want is this lead hand becomes like Iron Byron. So the club is hooked on here and you go back, regardless of the speed that this goes, that is going to do the same thing. It's going to straighten out at the same place. The face is going to square itself. So the momentum of this goes and creates a lot of speed. If all of a sudden you're tight trying to twist and hold, you can't create much speed. That's why this is an important skill. So skill number two is once you get your grip on, it's how do your hands work. Now, we've talked about this in the M system. We've talked about it on the website. How your hands work is really important. So if you watch here, I've got my grip. There's my left hand. So it's not this and this where we're twisting. So we're here and we're here. Now what's going to happen is now I go back, my left wrist flattens, my right wrist hinges, and my right palm is right there facing at the target line. So it goes boom, and then I hit, and then it goes like this over here. So basically I'm taking this angle, this position here, and I'm just switching places. So left wrist is flat, right wrist is bent, right wrist is flat, left wrist is bent. So we're just going through these two actions and you're just feeling how your hands work. Now, what you do, you don't want to try to hit it hard or see how far you can make this go, but you're going to set up and you just let your wrist hinge, unhinge and rehinge and just tap it and see if you can make your hands do what they're supposed to do their role correctly without hardly anything else moving. That's skill number two. So now we're going to talk about skill three. Basically, what is skill three? Well, it's this. It's getting your arms so your arms can move and swing independent of your shoulder sockets. So yeah, we're gonna have hand action, but we're gonna add arm swing to it. Now, what are we gonna do? Well, we got this little bag stand here. We're gonna sit down on it. So now what you've got to do is you sit down here, and now we're gonna do the same hand action, only now we've got a little bit more, a little turn, but it's mainly, you see how loose my arms are. I mean, my chest isn't turning that much, but now I've got loose arms. So my arms can go from this side and they can accelerate and go over here without my chest pulling them. All right, so you're gonna hit a few balls where all you're trying to feel is now you've got the same hand action, the same what you think is flippy hand action, which was this, but now we're gonna add a little arm swing to it without a lot of body. And you hit a few that way. Now you start to get a feel for the hand action, plus what you can do with your hands and arms and wrists. So we're maxing out what this is doing, and you can see how this is staying quiet. Now, a couple of reasons, again, that's important. To hit it a long ways, your arms have to be able to go faster. My arms have to go faster than my body goes. If my arms and my shoulders are tight, and my arms can only go the speed my body goes, it doesn't matter if you use your wrists, you can't create a lot of speed. So when you sit down, neutralizes your body. Now you've got to learn how to use your hands and arms to hit it. Looks simple, difficult for a lot of people. Once you get that, we're going to the next step, which is how you add your body. Now you've really got something. We've made it this far. Now we're up to skill 4, which is how do we put this into play? So let's review what we did first though. The first thing is we got this down. So we started to feel, doesn't take much effort. The momentum of the club is gonna make my wrists work, whether you're doing this or you're doing the look cool drill. So you start to feel how the momentum of the club makes my wrists work. Then we said, now we're gonna get your grip right, and now we're gonna get your hands, the lever system, so the lever system works the way it's supposed to. And we hit some balls that way. Then we said, okay, now we're gonna sit in a chair and we're gonna make some swings where now we've gotta have loose arms and shoulder sockets. That's the key. Because your arms have to go faster than your body goes to create maximum speed. And your arms are transporting this lever system through an arc. Now the last thing is, how do we make the arc bigger? Well, now all we're gonna do is, if we did that same thing, this looks kind of flippy. Looks like, oh, you're just using your hands and arms. That's right. But if all of a sudden I take this same feeling and I let my body rotate with the club, it has a whole different look. It doesn't look flippy, it looks really stable. So if I stand there and I start with this, and then I put my arms into it, and then I let my body turn, all of a sudden you've got very efficient, a lot of speed with not a lot of effort, you're in sync, you're dancing with this club. You know, you've got, this is a dance. So this and this have to be in sync with each other. If this jumps too fast or if it moves out of control with this, you've got nothing. So go through that sequence, go through those skills. You're gonna be amazed at how much better you hit your driver with significantly less effort and more control.